Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before. Verse 2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. Verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. Verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. And the end is manifest. This is the book of Romans chapter 13. Point is verse 11. And that knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believed. First Peter 4, verse 7. But the end of all things is at hand. Be ye therefore sober and watch unto prayer. I want to start off by giving all praises, all honor, all glory to God, La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem, this work thumb. Double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akio. Pushing this truth with faith and sincerity around the four corners of the earth. Pushing this truth with faith and sincerity and risking their lives as well as their freedom to do so. Shalom to the Aquathani Akim, scattered abroad in the land of other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to this truth to you. Say Shalom. It's the brother Yawasap out of the GMS Cleveland Church, a fellow servant, coming at you with another lesson through the Spirit and through the power of Yahweh Shem Shai. Came across this article. The Spirit jumped on me to do a quick hit on it. So Lord willingly, it's edifying, but it's relevant as well. So it should be edifying. But came across an article and see how the scriptures came out. So literally, it's telling you about something in regards to the Spirit is leading you to let you know about something that's set up as far as the end of this current age, this society, this Edomite's power structure, how he has things set up. And he's showing you that by literally crashing $1 in our faces. You know what I mean? Like I said, not to digress and keep it going, pretty much even if you don't have an understanding of economics, you can learn economics because right now you got the unicorn with, it's never been this easy to learn something. You got to give double honors to the apostles and elders that risk their lives, their freedom, and stayed in this truth for our sake. You know what I mean? Because when they jumped in this thing, when they first came into the truth, it wasn't the internet. You know what I mean? Well, maybe it was because the internet, I believe, it was being used in the 80s. It's just the public didn't have access to it like that. No, hackers is not a new thing. You know what I mean? Like, so, point being, is readily accessible to everybody right now. They had to actually do a diligent search. They had to go to the library. They had to look up, man. So, it's just showing you how, we are fortunate in that regards to being in the truth because things are a lot. I mean, I hear brothers say it's difficult now, and trust me, every once in a while I say it because when you're trying to juggle everything, what you got going. But then I look at the character of our elders and apostles, my teachers, and or my elders and my apostles, and look when they going through things, you wouldn't even ever know because of the fact that they've been in this thing so diligently for years, and that's the character that Yahweh Shah wants. I mean, that's the purpose of these lessons and chastisements for that day of trouble that's approaching. But not to digress, this is the article. It's out of CoinDesk. I don't even know what this is. Sometimes on your phone you look at it, it's an app or some kind of way you got this app, you don't even realize you got it. Maybe this was already on the phone. It's a newer phone. So it says CoinDesk, President of El Salvador says he's submitting bill to make Bitcoin legal tender. And emotional Jack Mallers announced the news at the Bitcoin 2020 one conference in Miami, and that's the spirit because I recall when they was talking about in Florida, I think it was Miami to be exact. City of Miami, literally the mayor there was proposing to pay all the city workers in Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure because I did a video on it. Now I might be misconstruing a few little things, but I'm pretty sure it was Miami, and I'm definitely sure it was he was proposing to pay all the employees in Bitcoin. So why would Because you got people that's called insiders, considered insiders. We were at camp yesterday, and the brother made mention of that. Made mention of the actor Russell Brand, and being that he has a platform on YouTube, his channel literally he speaks out a lot about a lot of different stuff, but he is what you would consider an insider because he has been inside that world, you know what I mean? Because when you go into like politics or just entertainment, that is a separate world for real. Wow, Slovakia, this came out of nowhere. um Showing you scripture says he's gonna wear out the saints, Lord willingly, of that number. It says it's dated June 5th, 2021 at 8:51 p.m. It's updated at 11:04. So it says El Salvador is developing a bill to recognize Bitcoin as legal tender, according to President Nayib Bukele. In a videotape announcement shown Saturday, he said he will submit the bill next week. Zapp's Jack Mallers announced the news at the Bitcoin 2021 conference in Miami. He said his company is working with Bukele to implement a plan. Now, I don't know who Zapp's Jack Mallers. I don't know who that is. Maybe through the spirit, I should have kind of researched some of that. But, just the headline caught my attention because the simple fact is this. Like I said, I brought out the information about Miami, and they had proposed to pay all the city workers in Bitcoin. And that's not by coincidence, you know what I mean? Like I said, none of this is by happenstance or coincidence. It's a reason why Tesla and these major corporations have bought all this Bitcoin. I ain't just to have it, you know what I'm saying? The bills must, and then now you got, uh, Musk is gonna literally like, cause that probably ain't even his real name. You know what I mean? Like these people change their names. You get it? You know what I'm saying? Like how the Rothschilds changed their name. You know what I mean? Like they literally changed their name. So like, because like this guy, I believe was wealthy before he became super mega wealthy, and then like I said, he just sits back on a platform and he makes statements, and people like that affects the rise and fall of these currencies, these digital currencies. So, and he's kind of sort of like the spearhead of bringing all this innovation into futility. You know what I mean? Like, they say Bill Gates and him are at odds and they bump heads, and I'm sure to a certain extent that is true. You know what I mean? Look at when Mayweather and 50 Cent, they both were friends at one point, but then because of their egos, you know what I mean, literally they remain friends. And I'm sure that's the same with Bill Gates and Elon Musk. Nevertheless, he's the spearhead behind a lot of this technology, this Neuralink and all these different things, I forgot what it's called, but basically the traveling through the tubes, the hypersonic subway train things, those. I mean, he's not the only one that actually came up with that concept because you got Richard Branson. His is called Richard Branson's um, little subway tunnel train hyper. It's called hyperlink. So it's supposed to get you from, say, for instance, Cleveland, Chicago within. If it takes like 6 to 8 hours to drive, it get you there in like an hour. You know what I mean? Hour and a half. So yeah. But again, like I say, all this is set up and designed a certain kind of way because at the end of the day, they all in cahoots. You know what I mean? You got to remember Esau believes in something called controlled opposition. You know what I mean? You know, you got you know, we don't know if China and America's really at cahoots with one another because you got to remember they both in favor of a new world order. But Salakia for digressing, it says the bill must still be reviewed by the country's legislative assembly, but with the populist Bukele's upstart political party and firm control of that body, approval seemed all but assured Saturday afternoon. The bill's approval will likely make El Salvador the first nation to adopt a Bitcoin standard. And when that happens like that, normally other nations follow. Why do you think, again, that America is talking about digital dollars and the Fed looking into digital dollars and getting you into the idea, because that's gradualism with everybody just waking up to stimulus money in their accounts. The brother went into, how, Esau killed off the buffaloes or the bison in order to make Gad and Reuben more reliant on on the government as opposed to being able to be self sufficient. Because when you don't need to deal with uh, like the majority with the majority, that's one of the reasons behind Black Wall Street. You know what I mean? Jake didn't need to deal with Esau. Esau got jealous of that. Plus, Esau was hurting at that time while Jake was lightweight shining. Like, you can't let this be. I just learned information I didn't know. After all them years, Biden was the first president to actually go to the memorial. So that's, I mean, and then you got these silly ass people of our nation. I'm gonna call them people that literally believe in this country though. Like that, if that ain't the boldest slap in your face, since all these athletes that's joined the place and entertainers, that's a separate world, like I said, because they'll appear one way on TV, they'll be another way amongst their loved ones and friends and whatnot, but then they're another way in front of these Edomites when they in them studios and what I mean, in these office and board meetings and whatnot. But like I said, I'm bouncing around a little bit. It says, as of now, El Salvador is set to be the first Bitcoin country, Mahler said, and the first country to make Bitcoin legal tender and treat it as a world currency and have Bitcoin on their reserve. And the thing is this, it probably will be the first one, but you got already countries that are making us ready to do it. Just mentioned America. You got Russia got one, China got one. What you think with what's the dude Akon? He's behind the scenes with with how he's building infrastructure all up in the African country. He literally, like, what do you think that's the purpose of though? He's getting all that money from the Chinese, but he's building up. And you got to remember, China, and it's smart on Moab's part to go get him. You know what I mean? Because Moab is taking a lot of resources from Ham right now. You know what I mean? In that land, you got a lot of Hamites getting with Moabite women. Yeah, it's a lot going on. You know what I mean? Because Moab or China, is literally thinking they're going to be the next world power. But the scriptures tell you they won't. It says, but it is not yet clear what being the first Bitcoin country will mean for the fiscally unstable and oppressively poor Central American nation, where 70% of residents lack a bank account. Not right. So how are you going to do that? How are you going to distribute this Bitcoin? I'm gonna leave it for because these videos is not for the world. These videos is for those that's in the truth and seeking to be edified. You know what I mean? So we all know that's in the truth that subscribe to this doctrine know how they would distribute that without a bank account. You can't keep on doing like how this country's doing with the sending out checks, paper checks, right? But it is not yet clear what being the first read stable oppressive report. Central El Salvador's gross domestic product was 24.76 billion in 2020, according to Statistica. The 39-year-old Bukele claimed in recorded remarks that his plan will have short-term benefits for thousands of unbanked individuals. He also claimed it would generate jobs. If this guy's the president, he younger than me, ain't that something? You look like Esau Puppet. You can tell this guy got on a ABC, like he looking like a young cootie bob. Funny. It says, but it's not clear what being. I read that already. It says inflation and angst. Mahler's frame Bukele's announcement as pushing back against unprecedented monetary expansion. He placed particular blame on the U.S. Federal Reserve for crushing emerging markets such as El Salvador's dollarized economy by printing greenbacks ad nauseum. And that's the spirit, because by just printing that money. What people don't know is, and like I said, right now, how I opened up, if you don't know about economics, you can understand economics by going on the internet. You can get some kind of understanding. So the thing is, um, literally, by by printing all that money, it literally it started the onset of hyperinflation. Why do you think, and Esau know that, why do you think out of the blue now they want to just give free money away when they cutting away the PUA though? They're cutting away the PUA, but right around the time when they cut the PUA, just so happened it's already in legislation to start giving families money each month, which is the beginning of UBI. So, like the brother Bakura Mouth literally said, we ain't counting the minutes, we counting down the seconds. And he was in the spirit when he said that. So if you want to read this, because that's pretty much all I'm going to read. It's out of CoinDesk. President of El Salvador says he's submitting bill to make Bitcoin legal tender. I'm going to end it with this. That's not right. That ain't what I want. I want this Revelations. I don't like this app. They'll see how long it takes. But it's going to do his job. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell, Salakia, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So that's the point. Everything is switching in the midst, and you literally just watch them put a social experiment to work and watch the change it provided. You know what I mean? Like this man literally is considered wise because he does know some stuff. He know a lot of wickedness. He know a lot of left hand shit. You know. But yet still, I mean, like I said, we just watched last year. The world was a totally different way from the way the world is now. You literally best believe you can look in your pocket and you carrying something that you normally didn't carry, which is a mask. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I was growing up and you know, like I said, little ghetto boy type thing. So the men and the people I was around, or the people I knew that carried masks, those was the people that weren't likely to grow up to be to be my age. But nonetheless, now everybody, even people's children, have these masks. That's social engineering. So you know what I mean. And you watching them continue to socially engineer this place. You know. So next year is gonna be probably even if it go on to next year, which through this. I mean, I ain't gonna say through the spirit. Speaking as a man, I believe we gonna see major change by the end of this year. That's just me speaking as a man. Um, I think we got. I mean, I don't think. Well, I ain't even gonna say that. I pray the most. I said his son back. Today. But you know, Salakia for rambling and digression is keeping the rambling going. But like I said, the end is near. For them to make a statement like that, where this gonna be the first major company that's willing to accept it, you know what I mean? And like I said, that's something that you should meditate on. If this country, 70%, more than half of the people don't even possess a bank account, how are they gonna actually digitally like move money? Or not how they not digitally, but how they're gonna move money digitally. So with that, if you're so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, Seminole Indian, West Indian, or Haitian, to survive the upcoming judgments that's about to come to this place, I suggest you come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and or be destroyed. Uh, and with that, I want to give all praises, all honor, all glory to call Haloyim, La Yahweh, Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Rachakadosh. Double honors to the apostles and elders, the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the Akim across the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth for faith and sincerity, as well as risking their lives and freedom to do so. Shalom to the Aqua thing. Akim out there listening and learning. Lord willingly, this is an edifying video. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners scattered abroad in the land of the other nations, appearing like the other nations, but subscribing to this truth. So you'll say Shalom. Until the next time I'm able to come with another lesson. Shalom, shalom. Mawaf lababal. Shalom.